That's good stuff. But day 16, and we had a chance to really get in and out of some periods. Worked a lot of special teams stuff. Was kind of happy with where their focus was as far as the different situations. And you know what? We're getting better.
It was kind of the goal, wasn't it?
That's kind of what we're looking to do.
This is the point where you thought in camp that they needed to fight through some things. You've been there for really about 3 or 4 days, and on a hot day. Are you happy with the way that's continuing to go?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. We finally got a little heat. We've really only had about 2 of those. We do play the first couple games at night, but at the same time, you sure like to get that hot weather, which sounds like we're going to get some of that next week.
Can you give us an update on the tackle situation? Because I know you brought in Jordan, he hasn't practiced yet, and then the guy behind him was Mason.
So, Nick Callender has come a long ways. He's given us a ton of depth. Sam Carlson's going to be at the right, and he's done a fantastic job. In fact, did a couple things that we haven't had that spot do in a while on some calls. He's doing a really good job there, and of course Sam was holding down that other side. And we feel really comfortable with that.
Do you have any idea on where Mason sits in his knee situation, or even where Jordan sits in his?
Well, Jordan, we'd hope to get back probably around game 4.
Okay.
That's kind of been the plan. His rehab's been going really well. Obviously, we won't push it. It'll be when he's ready. In Mason's case, we're going to let the swelling go down and then go in and take a look. Chances are we'll probably miss him for probably the season.
Okay. Is there any way he can come back for the next year?
No, he's this is 5th year. So.
How's Kevon coming along with his rehab?
He's actually started to take all the individual stuff. We're still probably, babying that thing, which we should, just to make sure that we're okay. And, he'll be ready for the first game.
Your defensive backs, when I talked to them yesterday, talked about how they've been doing their communication while they're watching film and then taking that out on the practice field. Have you seen where their communication has improved because of that practice?
Well, I think the communication has gotten a lot better, and yet part of that urges the urgency of the communication is the amount of depth that we have back there and guys battling for position. So it's one of those deals where every little ounce that helps, as far as keeping your job and getting playing time. So that's kind of what's happening.
But they don't seem to stress it. They're getting more confident with their calls because they're doing it in the room. And there were times last year when they would make the wrong call, and so you saw the net result. So are you seeing that they're making the right call more often than not now?
Absolutely, and they really have taken, I guess, to heart the need for it because they saw and were embarrassed, to be honest. They were embarrassed on some big plays last year. Quite honestly, it shouldn't happen. And, at the same time, the one good thing is now that they understand the true importance of it. That's interesting. They do a lot of stuff that if you verbalize it, it cements. And so it's just like up front. Every day, everything should be communication. Our team is doing a good job.
Are they still also using hand signals out here? Because obviously stadiums get real loud. Are they improving on that aspect?
I hope it's that's what I hope.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is a jungle. But obviously everything's got to be verbal and visual in everything we do.
Going back to Sam, you were technically at your 3rd string tackle. Do you feel like you're at your 3rd string tackle, or has he played well enough where you think he would have challenged either one of those 2 guys for that job?
He was moving up and he's taking a lot of the ones. Obviously, anytime you lose depth, it's something that to be concerned about. And Trey Moxley's doing a really good job moving him over to the left. Nick Callender at right, and we're working with about 9 guys. And shooting the NFL, sometimes you only get to work with about 6. So we feel pretty good.
Is Nick a guy that's still seeing some time at guard as well as tackle?
Guard, yeah.
Is he one of those guys that gives you some flexibility?
He'd be one of those guys probably first off the bench, and able to go to either of the 4 spots other than center.
Okay.
I know last year you kind of felt like you needed the full fall camp to feel prepared for this season. If you had to play, CU tomorrow, do you feel like you guys would do well, or do you feel like there's big things you still need to do?
Great question. I'm going to play. I don't, you know, it's one of those deals where, you know what, they'd be at the same spot we were, about 16 days in or practices in, so, you know, it really wouldn't matter. But, you know, I know our guys are prepared, and our guys are doing a really good job. You know, we haven't started working on that at all. You know, my philosophy is it's about us. You know, it's about what we do. It's never about what the other team does. So we've got to work on ourselves, and then we'll go play.
With Richard, you talked to, and a lot of the coaches talked about the next step he needed to take was be a little bit more consistent. Have you seen him with what he's done in the summer and in camp? He's picking up some of those nuances.
You know, he's a guy I actually was very, very excited the other day. It's just, you know, it's a little detail, but he actually helped the guy get lined up. He was always the guy they were helping get lined up. So to me, that's a step in the right direction, and he needs to continue to grow with that.
Have you seen progress with him? Because I know in talking to Alvis, you know, he would take a 12-yard route and cut it off at 8, and obviously that throws off your timing.
Right.
Is he getting more precise with the way he's running routes, and have you seen that improve your passing game out here?
Well, yeah, I think he's been able to see film where there's indications he probably left about 17 catches on the field last year.
Yeah.
Had he paid attention to detail, yet that's part of growing up.
Do you see your other young receivers following suit? And I know they didn't get to play last year, but are they learning maybe from his mistakes? Will an X, an Elroy, Sammy be able to take that out with them on the field this year?
Well, you know, the luxury is they've had a full year to kind of not necessarily learn under fire like he did, but now that they've been through, you know, the full spring ball and 2 fall camps, and, you know, like I tell them, you know, you're not a rookie anymore. You got to go in and play.
When do you guys as a staff decide when you're gonna or who you're gonna redshirt?
You know, we don't even look at that till probably week 6, 7, 8, you know, of the season. One thing that I tell these guys is, you know, I won't ever play them. For them to play, it's going to be significant. In other words, you know, we got a couple guys on our team. I think Aaron Davis played like 9 plays as a freshman. Lost a year of eligibility. You know, I'm just not sure I could do that to him. You know, so but most of that's always done after that, about that 4th or 5th game, and then in some cases, you know, like we had, you know, with Nick Stevens. You know, had something happened a year ago, you know, we kept him alive, right? Had something happened, you know, he'd have gone in there and played. So,
Right.
You know, it's you know, we don't necessarily put a date on when it's going to happen.
You have a different day on Monday.